Welcome back, everyone. I am Bob Mastriani, and today we're diving into the world of real estate. You looking to invest in your first real estate opportunity and not sure how to get over that hump? All right, well, welcome back for part two of some real estate basics, where you have the ability to learn some of the basics and things that you'll want to educate yourself on as you're planning to invest in your very first real estate opportunity. My name is Bob Mastriani, and I'm here to help you through the process. All right, so if you missed part one, make sure you go and check that out for tips 1 through 5. And here in part two, we're going to go over topics 6 through 10 of things you need to learn about. The first thing we want to talk about, or number 6 on the list, is property management. You want to familiarize yourself with property management. Who is going to manage the property? Who is going to be in charge of finding the best tenants, making sure that they're qualified and really good tenants for your property? Also making sure that they have the funding and the finances to pay the rents. Who's going to collect those rents and make sure that all of the bills are paid on the property? And then who's going to be in charge of maintenance of the property? From time to time, things are going to come up. There are going to be issues. There may be potential, we often hear about toilets and tenants, right? So there may be plumbing issues. There may be an issue, with an electrical problem. There may be a small issue where it's just a fire alarm needs the battery changed. Who is going to answer those phone calls when they come in? And who is going to be the one that's in charge of resolving all of those issues on a regular basis? Your tenants, from the very beginning, from the moment that they apply to become a tenant until the moment that they moved out, and even a little bit after, they need to know exactly who they're supposed to contact if they have any questions, if they have any concerns, if there's a change. Oftentimes our tenants are making payments on an automatic process, right? So we sign them up on websites where they go and they make automatic payments and it automatically comes out of their bank account. Well, what if they have an issue and the payment doesn't come out? Or what if they have an issue and the payment bounces? Or what if they changed bank accounts? Who are they going to contact to resolve all of these issues? Whenever there's a question, you want to make sure that somebody is on top of that. Maintenance issues are the easiest ways to lose tenants. Issues of non-responsiveness are the easiest and quickest ways to have your tenants move out on you and start turnover. And turnover is one of your most expensive expense items, turnover of a tenant. So you want to keep really good tenants for as long as you possibly can. And the best way to do that is to ensure that all of these property management questions are handled. Who's going to take care of any maintenance issues? Who's going to take care of making sure that income is collected, expenses and bills are paid, and who's going to be that main point of contact? So that is really the major function of your property management level. And so figure those out right from the beginning. Next, we want to talk about some legal considerations that you may want to think about. So some of the legal considerations, and by all means, if any of this legal consideration stuff goes above your head, make sure that you reach out to a real estate attorney. They are invaluable in your time of need. So bring in someone who has that experience. But some of the legal considerations that you're going to want to familiarize yourself with. First one is zoning. Want to make sure that the property that you're buying is zoned in a way that you want to utilize the property. So if the property is zoned to be residential and you plan to use it for residential purposes, make sure that that is all up to date and accurate. If the property has a commercial zoning, but you're planning to use it for residential, you want to learn what you have to do in order to potentially make changes to zoning. You can put requests in and go through that whole legal process. So that's one of the things from legal considerations. Lease writing. Your lease between yourself and your tenant is always going to be an important piece of documentation, and you're going to want to make sure that you're protected. You're also going to want to make sure that you lay out as much information as possible. My lease includes some things like what happens if they lose a key? How much are we going to charge them if they have to have a key replaced? Parking places. As much information as you possibly can so that there are no questions about what the responsibilities are of the tenant and what the responsibilities are of the owner and the property management company when it comes to legal considerations. You also want to make sure that you have a good understanding of legal considerations when it comes to the actual contract to purchase a property, right? Are you protected? Are you giving yourself any sort of time periods, inspection periods? Sometimes there's inspection periods or financial periods where you have to meet certain things. And if the property isn't in those conditions, you have the ability to terminate the contract and what happens from that perspective. So make sure you familiarize yourself with, I'm not saying to become a real estate lawyer, but you want to familiarize yourself with some of the basics when it comes to legal considerations for real estate investing. All right, for number 8, we're going to talk about one really, really important skill set that you're going to build over your time as a new real estate investor, and that is building your network. Who is in your network? We just talked about legal considerations, and I mentioned that you're going to want to familiarize yourself with a really good real estate attorney. That is part of your team. That real estate attorney is going to be part of your team. Do you need accounting and finance people to be a part of your team? But you also want to network and build your network. Other real estate investors, agents, brokers, family and friends. Who are the people in your network who need to know what you're looking to do? Are you looking to invest in real estate? What type of properties are you looking for? This network of people are going to be helpful when it comes to questions, considerations. It's always best to find people who've sort of done whatever you're looking to do and have the ability to reach out to them and say, hey, I have a question. It's also important that people know what you're looking for and know what you're looking to do, so that if they come across an opportunity, they can say, I know Bob really wants to buy a property just like this, and I'm going to connect him with that other person. So grow your network. There's a couple great ways that I could suggest growing your network. Social media is a great way. Put information out there. Let people know what you're looking to do. Join your local real estate investment groups. You may not know this, but there are absolutely real estate investment groups in your area. They are very open to helping newbie investors, people who have never invested before. They provide a lot of resources. It's not very expensive to become a member. Check out your local REIA, R-E-I-A, which is Real Estate Investment Association. There are real estate investment association chapters all over. And wherever the closest one to you is, my recommendation would be to join that REIA, go to some of the networking events, go to some of the education events, and really build and expand your network. Also, as I mentioned, jump into social media. In social media, you'll find different groups that are available to help you out with that too. But make sure you continue to grow your network and let them know what you want to do, because they will absolutely consider you when they come across opportunities that fit your needs and wants. Next, we're going to want to talk about some risk management. First thing you want to talk about here when it comes to risk management, and that is, how can we avoid some risks? Every investment, any investment opportunity comes with its share of risks, and we just want to mitigate those risks the best that we can. A couple of ways that we're going to mitigate those risks. Number one is that we're going to make sure that we're insuring the property properly. We're going to insure ourselves properly and make sure that we have the right ability to insure that. So a good insurance agent is a great person to add to your team. So again, we're building that team up, building that network up, and bringing a good insurance agent in that can help you out. So that's one of the risk mitigation. Another thing that we talk about with risk mitigation is related to potential loss of rents. So again, keep that in mind when you're talking about your insurance. And then the next thing we want to talk about is just, how are you going to transfer your money when you sell that property? So selling a property often is a large taxable event. So what are you going to do with those finances to try and avoid as much tax or pay as little tax as possible? We could talk about things like 1031 exchanges. So that's a like kind exchange. So think of this, for example, I sold this property. I made $100,000 on this property. I've rolled that $100,000 into another like kind property. And there's some legality around how you have to do that. And there's some standards around how you have to do that. But I could avoid paying taxes on that $100,000 if I move that in the appropriate way with the 1031 exchange into another opportunity and another property that's very We can also talk about things like seller financing or refinancing properties. So sometimes we're refinancing properties and bringing some of that cash out of there. So again, when we talk about risk mitigation, we want to talk about what are we doing for the finances of the property and how are we going to plan that all out. And then the final thing that I want to talk to you about today is really just current trends and market trends in the industry. How can you figure out what the market looks like? There's a lot of resources available to you. I would recommend checking resources like Zillow, checking resources like Realtor.com. There are some really good neighborhood resources where you can learn about the trends of what is happening in a neighborhood. So if you want to invest in an area, if you want to invest in a specific town or even a specific location down to the neighborhood or even a development, you want to know the trends of that area. So some of the trends that you want to think about. First, of course, we want to check the real estate trends and what are properties selling at, what values are properties selling at. So familiarize yourself with that. What types of properties are selling versus which types of property are staying on the market a little bit longer. So you may notice that in certain areas, properties with maybe less bedrooms may not be selling as quickly, and properties with more bedrooms may be, and maybe based on the amount of family size in the area, or maybe it's a college town and you're seeing a lot of university type rentals or something like that. So you want to really familiarize yourself with that. Also want to familiarize yourself with any growth that's happening in the area. Are new jobs coming to the area? Are new things coming to the area that are bringing people in? Sometimes that's events or attractions, but oftentimes it's sort of big jobs, right? Are big businesses coming into that area? Are they investing into the infrastructure of the area? So is the town actually putting money into the area, building up infrastructure and creating an opportunity where more people will come in? You know, a mentor of mine said to me many years ago that it's very important to make sure that someone else is putting money into the town first before you are. And I think that's a really cool tip because, sometimes we see areas and we say, man, I can make this area better. What we do is just going to be a drop in the bucket, right? We can do one house at a time or one apartment complex at a time. But you really want someone from the government level or from big corporation level to be putting money into that area and creating growth and economic growth. And that's really important. So hope you found a lot of value out of these lessons. Make sure you check out one and check out number two. Again, my name is Bob Mastriani. I host a podcast called the Healthy Investor Podcast. I also host a great community in Skool called the Healthy Investor Community, where I help people who have never invested in real estate, who are dying to invest in real estate, or people who have just started or very new to investing in real estate, help them get over that hump utilizing my 17 years of real estate experience to help you achieve your goals of real estate wealth. Go out there and make it a great day. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more valuable content on real estate investing. For exclusive access to even more great content, join our free Healthy Investor community on Skool. See you next time and go out there and make it a great day.